Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This is the 33rd part of What If Deku Was a Magical Girl Mascot, Quirk, Magical Girl Mascot. The author of this great fanfic is Emma. I believe links to them and original story in the description. Chapter 33, Mall Brawl. The four that definitely failed their exam were depressed. They were depressed that they were going to miss camp, which was kind of obvious. Also, Cyril was depressed because he ended up passing out during the exam thanks to Midnight's quirk. Seriously. You don't get to go to a camp, it's not the end of the world, muttered Katsuki, seeing their reaction. Well, you passed your exam, muttered Kaminari. I beat up All Might, said Katsuki. I probably had the hardest exam. They all sighed when she said she was still dealing with what she learned after all. Oh, come on. This can't get any worse, complained Mina. That was Achiko and Izuku came into the room. They decided to walk to school as a couple, and both of them were blushing. Wait, are you two together? Asked Mina. Both Achiko and Izuku blushed even more, neither answering. Oh, come. We have our first couple in class and they both get to go to camp and I miss them spending time together during, said Ashido. Everyone stared at Ashido. Please don't spy on us, Mina, sighed Achiko. But you're the first couple, cried Mina. How did you even get together? That's not important, said Achiko. I guess not, muttered Mina, but still. You know. I'm sure everything will work out, said Izuku. There could be a surprise twist. All of the one who failed all glared at him, causing Izuku to turn into his animal form and slink away. Soon enough class started. Now to discuss everyone's exam results. First off, all of you have passed your written exams, said Aizawa. The entire class of course was relieved by the news. However, 5 of you failed the practical exams, said Aizawa. 2 teams in Zero who passed out during his exam. Oh man, muttered Zero. As for going to camp, said Aizawa, the entire class is going to go. And surprise twist, said the 5 that failed their exams. The camp is meant to train your quirks, it would be illogical for you to skip out on it, said Aizawa. The 5 all breathed a sigh of relief. However, the 5 of you will be taking remedial classes during camp, said Aizawa. The 5 all groaned at this. On the bright side, they were going to camp, even if they had to take remedial classes. During lunch, Izuku and his partners, including his soon-to-be partner, all headed to lunch together. You told Aizawa about me wanting to bond? Asked Toru. He's fine with it, said Izuku. However, before they could unite with the conversation, All Might suddenly showed, shouting, I am here. They turned to see him. They saw him holding his boxed lunch in a pose, screaming, I want to eat lunch with Senpai. Achiko started laughing at the fact that it was All Might doing this and how adorable he looked. I want to have lunch with young Todoroki and young Bakugo, said All Might. Both of them knew it was talk about the secret they found out. Go eat lunch with him, said Izuku. Fine, muttered Katsuki. It's fine to talk about plans without us, said Shoto. They headed to the cafeteria without them, all of them figuring that it had to do with more taking about their exam. They went to the teacher's lounge. All Might was now in his thin form. Let me guess, you have bad news for us, muttered Katsuki. I think I lost time in my hero form because of the injury you gave me, said All Might. Katsuki cringed at this. It's fine, young Bakugo. I should have known something like this would have happened, sighed All Might. How much time did you lose? Asked Katsuki. I don't know. I have to run a few tests, hopefully it won't be as bad as the USJ, sighed All Might. Katsuki sighed. Also, young Todoroki. I'm sorry you had to learn this, said All Might. Everything was all for nothing. said Shoto. All Might sighed. I plan to hold on for as long as possible, because after learning about what your father put you through, I would rather not see him become number one, said All Might. Really? Asked Shoto. All Might nodded. He still hadn't found the right person, so that helped too. But he knew that he had to find that person. By the way, I haven't told him, but Deku knows we're hiding something from everyone, said Katsuki. What? Asked All Might. Look, Deku's my brother. I really can't hide things from him for long. He'd know I'm hiding something from him, so I told him that I learned a secret that I have keep it even from him, said Katsuki. The mouse already knows. I can't blame you from telling him that at least, said All Might. Also, I didn't know you had a transformation quirk, said Shoto, changing the subject a little. My quirk is something else, said All Might. The two forms are different. You know how fat guys suck in their guts to make themselves look muscular at the pool? It's like that. The two stared in confusion. I don't know what your quirk is, but that doesn't make any sense to me, said Shoto. Well, said All Might. Also, I thought you had the best costumes, said Katsuki. How is it you turn into this? You were able to survive my explosion unscathed, but your costume got shredded. Oh, I prepared my body for your explosions, said All Might. Since it wasn't a direct hit to my injury, it was fine. I see, said Katsuki with a sweat drop. By the way, young Bakugo, you should really come up with a name for that explosion. It was quite impressive, said All Might. I'll think about it, said Katsuki. The rest of the lunch was in relative silence. After class, everyone was excited for the camp. They were also given a list of stuff needed for camp. Various groups talked about the items. When Toru had an idea. Maybe we can all go to the group to the mall, said Toru. That's not a bad idea, said Ochako. Most of the class was excited for it, though a few students decided against going, including Shoto, who was planning to visit her mother that day. But most of the class agreed to go. And soon enough everyone met up at the mall. All right. We're all here, said Tenya. However, looked at her surprised. Why? Because she had gotten a haircut. It was much shorter, though a bit longer than back when she was a boy. Oh, you got a haircut, said Ochako. Yes, even though other people found my old style too cute, I wasn't very comfortable with it, explained Tenya. Gee, what a surprise, muttered Katsuki very sarcastically. It's such a shock that you weren't comfortable with it. Tenya only sweat dropped at that reaction. No way, yelled one of the people nearby. It's Class 1A. Awesome, said another person. They remember us from the sports festival, said Katsuki. No way. It's one of the guys who beat Stain, said someone else. Really? Said another person. Everyone began to swarm the class. Okay. Back the fuck up, yelled Katsuki. There's kids around, called out a woman. I don't fucking care, said Katsuki. Katsuki's mouth regardless. Please let us do our shopping in peace, said Tenya. The crowd began to leave them alone. You know you didn't have to do that, said Kaminari. Yeah, he has a ton of fans, said Mineta. I don't think all of them were his fans, said Tokoyami. What? Asked Kaminari. Tokoyami pointed to a shop selling Stain merchandise, with some people even looking at it considering buying it. Izuku paled seeing that. Then he transformed not his animal form. And great, muttered Katsuki. Ochako picked him up. It will be fine, said Ochako. Izuku just sighed. Probably a good idea to stay like that for a while, muttered Katsuki. I know, mumbled Izuku. And soon enough everyone broke apart. Achiko and Izuku ended up together, with Izuku stayed in animal form and riding on Achiko. So, said Achiko blushing a little, does this count? I don't know, said Izuku blushing a little too, I mean, we're alone. Yeah. I know, said Achiko. That was when someone suddenly wrapped his arm around Achiko. Hey there, said the person who was a young man wearing a hoodie that covered his face, you're one of those magical girls from the sports festival. Yeah, said Achiko, who was very uncomfortable. And that must be your mascot, said the man staring at Izuku. The fur all over Izuku was standing on its ends. He had a bad feeling. Then the man said something that cemented it for Izuku. You know, back at the USJ I was wondering what your quirk was. I never thought it was something that turned you into a magical girl mascot, said the man. You, said Izuku. Indeed, the man was Shigaraki. That was when Shigaraki grabbed Achiko by the neck. Deku, said Achiko. You're the one from the USJ, said Izuku. And you remember what I did the ground, said Shigaraki. Now I'm sure you know what will happen if I touch her neck with all 5 fingers. Izuku was shaking. Look, just remain calm. I just want to talk, said Shigaraki. I also can't hurt you. Izuku just glared at Shigaraki. The heroes will come, said Izuku. And how many people will I be able to kill before they show up? Asked Shigaraki. I'm sure I can kill at least 30 people before they show up. Both Izuku and Achiko were sweating. Don't worry, I just want to talk, said Shigaraki. Deku, said Achiko. Izuku noticed she made the hand sign to activate telepathy. And Izuku knew he had to call all of his partners. Meanwhile, in a store, Katsuki and Kirishima had ended up together, with Kirishima getting help from her to pick out some new boots. Just pick one already, muttered Katsuki. Oh, come on, which one looks better? Asked Kirishima. Before Katsuki could answer. It's an emergency, called out Izuku via telepathy. What's wrong? Asked Kirishima. Meanwhile, at the hospital, Shoto was talking with her mom. I was wondering, if it was all for nothing, how would you feel? Asked Shoto. What do you mean? Asked Rei. If he got the number 1 spot because something happened to All Might? Asked Shoto. However, before she could answer, Shoto got the telepathic message and Rei saw her daughter's face. Shoto? Asked Rei. Wait, said Shoto, hold on. Izuku, what's wrong? Asked Inko. We're at the mall, and a villain is hold me hostage, explained Achiko. What? Asked everyone else. It's worse than that, it's Shigaraki, thought Izuku. Wait, isn't he? Thought Shoto. The one from the USJ, confirmed Izuku. Shoto, what's wrong? Asked Rei. One of my partners is being held hostage by a villain, said Shoto. Rei looked at Shoto. Sorry, Shoto. I should have included everyone but you, thought Izuku. I'm sorry. It's fine, but there's not much I can do right now, said Shoto. I'm already calling some heroes, pointed out Inko. Thanks, Mom, thought Izuku. Rei touched Shoto's hand. You can stay on with them, said Rei, don't worry. Shoto nodded, thank you. Back at the mall with Katsuki and Kirishima. You're serious, muttered Kirishima, remembering Shigaraki. Okay. What part of the mall are you? Asked Katsuki to the teleplay. Kaken. Please don't fight him, thought Izuku. Look, I just want to keep an eye on you, assured Katsuki. We're fine for now, thought Hachiko. Why, what is he doing? Asked Katsuki. He's venting, explained Izuku. What? Came the reply from everyone else. With Hachiko and Izuku, it was indeed true. They had found a place to sit down where Shigaraki was still holding onto Hachiko's neck with Izuku on Hachiko's lap, with Hachiko holding onto her stuffed you-like boyfriend for comfort. And yeah, he was venting. Basically, I hate everything, explained Shigaraki, but the thing I hate the most right now is Stain. Wasn't he part of the League of Villains? Asked Izuku. No, he wasn't, muttered Shigaraki. Everyone thinks he was, and I don't get it. Get what? Asked Izuku. Everyone loves him, they're all paying attention to him, said Shigaraki. I see you, called out Katsuki. Kaken don't do anything, thought Izuku. The heroes should be there soon, thought Tenya. I have bad news, all of the heroes in the area are busy right now, thought Inko. It will take a while. Are you fucking serious? Asked Katsuki. Please hold on, thought Inko. Izuku was sweating, as was Hachiko. What do you think? Asked Shigaraki. What? Said Izuku. About people paying attention to the hero killer and not the League, muttered Shigaraki. Oh, said Izuku, I think it's because he's not just destroying for the sake of destroy. I don't agree with him, but he has a reason for what he's doing. We both admire All Might and... Of course that's the reason, said Shigaraki. What? Asked Izuku. That was when he started to choke Hachiko. Deku, thought Hachiko. It's always All Might, ranted Shigaraki. Let her go, yelled Izuku. You wanted me, didn't you? So let her go now. However, Shigaraki wasn't paying attention. He's the reason why everyone is the way they are, said Shigaraki. He's the reason why everyone feels so safe and secure. I said let her go, yelled Izuku. Hey! Fuck her! Listen to him and let her go, yelled a voice. Shigaraki looked up and saw that Katsuki was glaring at him while Kirishima was trying to hold her back. However, he let Hachiko go. She started coughing while Izuku held onto her. Shigaraki got up and started to walk away. I understand everything now, said Shigaraki, and we will meet again, Midoriya. What? Asked Izuku. He walked away while at the same time disappearing in the crowd. That bastard, growled Katsuki. There wasn't anything we could do without breaking the law, said Kirishima. At the same time, both Tsuyu and Tenya showed up, checking to see if Hachiko was alright. I'm fine, assured Hachiko, and followed up with thinking it to reassure Inko and Shoto. There better be fucking good reasons why there weren't any heroes around, yelled Katsuki. Turned out there was a huge bank robbery about a kilometer away. Close enough that it was all hands on deck, but far away enough that meant none of them would get there in time. Thankfully, the police showed up soon and shut down the mall. However, they were unable to find Shigaraki. Both Hachiko and Izuku were questioned about what happened, and thankfully was let go where Inko was waiting for them. I'm so glad you were okay, said Inko, hugging the two of them. Hachiko, if you want to, you can stay the night. Thank you, said Hachiko. Izuku, I know you're trying to be a hero, but, said Inko, looking at her son who was in human form. I think I just have bad luck, sighed Izuku. Inko sighed while looking at her son. If you want, we can give you a ride home, offered the detective. Oh, thank you, said Inko. As they were being driven back home, Izuku couldn't help but to think about what Shigaraki said to him about seeing him again. He really hoped that it was just a vague villain threat and nothing more. But still, he couldn't shake off the feeling that it wasn't. That will be it for this part. I hope everyone enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and comment if you want part 34. If you want to hear more from me, subscribe. I hope to see you all in the next one.